No, so day 14 here of the Aperta event for Ferrari LaFerrari, and it's making use of the McLaren 570S Spider. Today's requirement is 3,300 rating, which means you'll need to have a 4-star version of the car and tuned up almost completely. A 4-star version of this car can be 3,437 rating, and yeah, that'll be enough. So you'll have 147 rating that you don't need to have it like completely tuned, so you'll be able to skip out on some of the epic import parts and stuff at 4 stars. But yeah, it's like a really good car. So again, if you've got tokens, those summer speed rush packs are in the shop. Just if you're kind of going between getting those packs or that SLR, definitely, I think I've mentioned this on a load of days, but skip the SLR and wait up. No one has gotten the packs for the Aperta yet, and that's just down to the fact that there is that ongoing event still where the Aperta is a part of it. So I don't think they're gonna give packs down that last day until that resets. I think is it tomorrow, but that will most likely be when the packs become available to purchase. Unless they're going to do something strange and wonderful with this from Gameloft. I kind of took this one a small bit on the bad side going into that tunnel. The main thing usually with the tunnel there is to try to like nitro burst out of it, but I just didn't have enough nitro left over. But it's important to try to come out of the tunnel with as much speed as possible. I take a route here through this pathway that I notice quite a lot of people do not take in multiplayer, but at the same time I find it like relatively easier to just kind of scoot around that side. In multiplayer sometimes it doesn't work because you end up getting kind of T-boned by other players who take the pathway down through the middle. Like there's a junction in there, and yeah, it's slightly dangerous. But for single player events it's pretty good because the AI normally tends to mess up really badly in that maze area. So yeah, they don't pose much of a threat, and AI will almost always follow the player as well, so they're not gonna like chase you down that route that I take. And there's like that car is, I think, is a 200 or 300 rating over the requirement for this day, and there it's broke that time by nearly 7 or 8 seconds. So again, today has probably been tuned for touch driving. Like every single event with the exception of the one that uses the SLR in this event, they've all been touch drivable. So like even the touch driver players can get used to that Aperta, which, okay, if you use manual drive, that won't impact you too much, other than the fact that this event's times are way softer on the player base than the ones for the Chiron. Well, what it's going to mean as well at the end of the event in the big competition thing that's like obviously still 2 or 3 weeks away, is the fact that there'll actually be a lot more players there, because of the fact that if the touch drivers and like manual drivers can all unlock the car, then that will fill out the thing. Because the Chiron, like that was a really hard unlock, and it ended up with the final day of the Chiron having only about 1,000 or 2,000 players in it that actually registered a time. And yeah, it just absolutely sucked. So this time, like, they've taken away the condition requirement on the final day, and also hopefully more people will end up with the car. But yeah, if you're following along in this, please, there's a sub button over my head, and I cover all these days in touch drive and manual controls if they're available to do in both. And yeah, I'll see you on the track, guys. I should be doing a live stream possibly tonight, all going well, for the end of season. So that'll be kind of around the 10 or 11 o'clock of British Standard Time. If you want to take a look at when that is, I'll put the notification up on YouTube anyway, a small bit early as well for it. And yeah, hopefully some of you guys can come and join me in a few multiplayer races, and we'll have a chat and live stream and just, yeah, have a laugh, hopefully. Okay, drive safe, guys.